Hello boys and girls, I've just got home from school and my dinner's in the oven. While it cooks, I thought I'd read you the next chapter of the Castle of Tangled Magic. Let's find out what happens. Chapter 4, The Kerchief of Salt. Kerchief, that's an unusual word. Sounds a bit like handkerchief, doesn't it? Does anyone know what a kerchief is? No? Well, a kerchief is a triangular fabric that some people wear over their heads. It's a bit like a bandana. Wonder why someone might have a kerchief of salt though. Let's read the chapter and see if we can find out more. The bang came from the great hall. Papa rises to his feet. I'll take a look. Another burst of wind explodes against the kitchen window, shaking the already cracked glass. Papa crosses the room and swings the interior shutters closed, then picks up his tool bag. I won't be long. He disappears out of the door and worry crowds around me. Why don't you put some spice milk on the stove? Mama whispers as she sits down. She's managed to rock Rosa back to sleep, but she's still patting her gently. Glad of the distraction, I fill a pan with milk. I can't stop Babusha's words about a storm from thundering through my mind. And I can't forget the lightning in her eyes when she spoke of winds tearing things down. Wind whistles down the chimney, long and loud, and my hand shakes, making a few drops of milk splash out the pan and sizzle on the stove top. I've never heard winds like these before, and I've never felt Castle Mila shake. But right now, the floor and the ceilings all seem to be trembling in fear. What if something happens to the castle, or to Papa while he's trying to fix it? Your Papa knows how to keep himself safe, Mama says softly, as if she's read my thoughts. And whatever the wind has broken, we can repair or replace. I nod, not wanting to speak in case I wake Rosa up with the fear in my voice. Then I add 2 of Papa's secret spice sachets to the pan of milk. A fierce gust raises the pitch of the wind's whistle and panic hurtles through me. If this storm is strong enough to shake the castle, then what might it be doing to the houses in the village? What if my friends and everyone I've ever known is in danger? My thoughts are shattered by something scurrying behind the stove. I peer into the shadows, wondering if it's mice scared by the winds. The Domovi wants an offering, Babusha croaks without opening her eyes. I sigh with relief, because if anything can take my mind off the storm, then it's Babusha and her talk of spirits like the Domovi, the house spirit who she says lives behind our stove. I thought you were asleep, I say to Babusha, opening the cupboards where we keep the salt pot. There is a stack of neatly ironed white kerchiefs and a bundle of ribbons next to it. I try my best to stop my fingers from shaking as I pour the salt into one of the kerchiefs. I fold it up and tie it with a ribbon the way Babusha does when she leaves an offering for the Domovi. Babusha says the Domovi is as old as the castle and that it protects the castle from danger. She says that all homes have a Domovi and that ours looks like a fox, although he can take the form of a fox-like old man as well. She says she's seen him hundreds of times and that if I looked with my heart, then I would see him too. When I was younger, I believed in the Domovi completely, and I spent hours chasing scuffling sounds around the castle, hoping just to catch one glimpse of him. Once, I thought I saw the tip of a fluffy foxtail poking out from behind the stove. At the time, I was sure of what I saw, but now I don't trust that memory. It was late at night, so I could have been tired or half dreaming. The wind roars louder still, rattling the window shutters, and my heart rattles with them. All of a sudden, I want the domovy to exist more than ever before, and I want this offering of salt to help him protect our home. I walk over to the stove and place the kerchief near the back of it, just beyond what I imagine to be a domovy's reach. I started doing this when I was very young, in the hope that I'd see the domovy as he leaned out to take his offering. The shutters fly open, slamming against the log wall, and I rush over to close them again. Behind the window, the night is full of shadows. Winds beat against the castle, and small branches zoom past like startled birds. A silvery roof shingle swoops down, then disappears in the direction of the lake. I peer after it, scowling at the winds, before closing the shutters once more. The milk is bubbling. Babusha sits up in bed. Why don't you come and pour us some? I move back to the stove, feeling hot with anger at the storm and cold with fear at the same time. The castle isn't strong, is it? I glance from Mama to Babusha as I pour 3 cupfuls of milk and stir a little honey into mine and Mama's. Usually I'd savour the scents of ginger, cinnamon and vanilla wafting into the air. But right now, all I can think about is the winds and the damage they might cause. I mean, the castle, it stood for 500 years, so it must have survived a storm or two, I asked nervously. The thought of our home being torn apart, especially before I've had a chance to explore it with Rosa, makes my stomach tighten, even more than it did that time I had bad mushrooms. Castle Melia has withstood many a storm. Babusha takes the cup I offer her. But that doesn't mean it can withstand every storm. Mama opens her mouth, but her words are drowned out by the wind. The whole room shakes. Something high above creaks, and a sad wail flows down the chimney. I feel it deep in my bones. What if Babusha is right and our home is in danger? How can I keep all of us safe? What about the domovy? I glance at the kerchief of salt above the stove. Won't he protect the castle from the storm? There is something strange about this storm. Babusha tilts an ear towards the sound skirtling around the chimney. There's magic in these winds. The domovy is a powerful spirit, but I don't know if he is strong enough to protect the castle from this. I sink into my chair, feeling dizzy as I try not to picture the castle tumbling down. Mama gives Babusha a concerned look, then reaches over and rests a hand on my shoulder. Babusha's eyes soften. Of course, the domovy will keep the castle safe. We will ask for strength. A domovy's magic grows when they feel needed and appreciated. I stare into my milk, wishing those words made me feel comforted. Come and rest on the bed. Babusha pats the empty space behind her. And try not to worry, my dear. Your mama is right about your papa keeping himself safe. And we're in the strongest room in the castle. I abandon my cup and slide into bed. Babusha strokes my hair like she used to when I was little. Mama hums her favourite lullaby again, and I hum too. And I carry on humming long after Mama and Babusha have joined Rosa in sleep. Then, just as I'm finally drifting off, I see a tiny, paw-like hand covered in fluffy orange fur reaching out from behind the stove. Oh, I wonder what that is. 2 small, bright, but somewhat melancholy eyes. Oh, melancholy. Do you know what that means? Yeah, sad. Two small, bright but melancholy eyes blink up at me from a furry face almost hidden in the shadows. And two large, triangular, black-tipped ears twitch in my direction. I don't know if this is a dream or an imagining, but I hear myself ask, "Please, Domovy, will you help protect my home?" And the Domovy, if that's what he is, nods. Then he snatches the kerchief full of salt and disappears back behind the stove with a swish of his long, fluffy tail. The Domovy, he is real after all, isn't he? Or is she just dreaming? We'll have to find out next time, boys and girls. Bye for now. Take care.